welcome everyone. This is our agenda for today. And I'm not going to, read through it because obviously you can all check it out, but these are the points that I'm hoping that that we will cover. And really the key takeaway, before I continue, I'm going to turn off my picture because I think it's distracting, but I'll turn it back on for Q&A. So in this webinar, you'll learn how to promote data-driven decisions within your organization by leveraging your technology capabilities, your people analytics, your AI, and hopefully improving the outcomes in alignment with your organization's business strategy. Because for organizations, people are their most important asset. So just to kind of level set where we are, I wanted to start with a definition of what I mean by data-driven decisions. And this is really a decision-making process that, rather than use intuition or past experience, really looks at data. And it involves data collection, identifying data patterns and trends, and extracting information from that data to inform decision making. So that's what we're talking about when we talk about data-driven decisions. I did want to mention that I put a question in the chat. I'd love to get responses from all of you. I think these webinars are much more interesting the more interactive we can make them. If you do have a question, please feel free to put it in the Q&A or in the chat. If it relates to a slide or a clarification of something I've just said, Susan will flag that and we will answer that immediately. Otherwise, we will hold the Q&A for the end. Sorry, I forgot about those couple housekeeping items. So this is the question that I put into the chat. What keeps you up at night around people analytics? Is it AI itself? Is it data quality? Is it organizational change and transformation? What are your thoughts around this? I'm going to give everyone a few seconds to think about it and put answers into the chat. Bias, yes, good one, and we'll talk about that a little bit. Good, yes, to data collection bias. Speed and accuracy of delivery, yes. I mean, getting the data together, making sure the data is accurate. These are all challenges, absolutely. How to best prove conclusions are real. That's an interesting one. I think we should have more of a conversation around that. And maybe share causation versus correlation. True, yes. I mean, whether you're running a regression or not on some of these, that's a good point. But yes, let's have more of a conversation about proving conclusions are real, causation versus correlation in the Q&A section. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. I think those are all really, really interesting and good points. And many of those we are going to be covering in the presentation today. So let's dive in. So hopefully you can see this. It's a little small perhaps, but basically this is a state of where we are today. And this comes from, a survey of business leaders. And while many business leaders are advocating for data-driven decision-making, and they, say that they value the process, there remains a disconnect between intention and action. So the survey highlights that close to 50% of organizations currently value information in decision-making, and close to 70% expected to become increasingly valued in the future. Yet data and information are only used by 24% of managers and 22% of executives, hence the big disconnect. 58% of the respondents base the majority of their decisions on intuition and experience, so not on the data-driven decision-making side. Yet best-in-class organizations base almost 70% of their decisions on data. So this is kind of the world in which we're working. People say they want to do it, but in reality, it's not happening as much as we would like it to. I wanted to just take a step to the side a little bit and talk about the C-suite and digital skills in the C-suite, because I think this has to do with how adoption and transformation happens in organizations. And what this chart shows is that digital skills are not even recruited for equally across C-suite roles. Based on the data that the researchers reviewed, they did over 200 searches with, specifically for C-suite positions in Fortune 1000 companies. And the data is taken from between January of 2016 through June of 2020. And I think it's super important because understanding your C-suite audience and their level of technology proficiency is really important in who's on the team and how you plan for a digital transformation. When we do this work, we often work with the CHRO, our Chief People Officer, the Chief Financial Officer, the Chief Information Officer, and we find that each of these roles has a different level of technology skill and expertise. And when we bring them together as a team, we actually have quite a successful outcome because of their different perspectives and skills in addressing the problem. So, when you're thinking about developing a project plan and reporting on progress, think about these different levels of experience and think about who should be in the room to help move this forward. So what are some of the benefits of data-driven decision? You can see that, organizations that use data-driven decision models are 3 times more likely to report better decision-making, processes. And they basically do that through automating processes, helping predict, unwanted employee turnover, being able to predict maintenance on, assets under their control or their manufacturing arms, and improve their services to their customers. So, that's how they're driving value in this case.
Hi there, hope you enjoyed that last clip. My name is Michael Malutis, and if you'd like to watch the full 60 minutes of that last webcast, while also gaining complete unlimited access to our entire library of IT learning, simply visit our subscribe page at greatpro.org/subscribe. Unlimited annual access is $199 per year. But if you use the coupon code LEARN2EARN, you can drop that membership fee to just $149. That's less than $13 per month for unlimited access to over 1,000 hours of on-demand career development, covering the entire spectrum of IT management best practices, including business analysis and requirements, software development, quality and testing, risk management, process improvement, project management, and even digital transformation. But your membership doesn't just give you unlimited access to our vast learning library. You also get free access to our mobile app, as well as direct access to our network of over 300 of the world's leading IT consultants, all of whom are dedicated to putting practical knowledge at your fingertips so that you can learn more and earn more. I hope you will join me in becoming a member of the Great IT Professional and advancing your career with us. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button above so that you get notified whenever we publish new free webcasts each week of the year. Thank you for your time and best wishes for your continued success.